Summer's here, and if you've got a camper parked out front right now, I want you to go look at what it's sitting on. Because that concrete under it is probably the weakest link in your whole trip, and almost nobody thinks about it until the damage is already done. So let's talk about that. Here's the situation. A typical residential driveway around Dayton gets poured at about 4 inches thick, sitting on a bed of compacted stone. That's the standard, and it's a good standard for what it's designed to carry, which is cars, maybe a half-ton pickup, vehicles that roll on, sit for a night, and roll off again. What it was never designed for is a loaded travel trailer, parked in one spot for 3 straight weeks in August. And people are towing more than they used to around here. The 2 closest national parks to Dayton are Cuyahoga Valley, which is roughly 168 miles out, and Indiana Dunes at about 198. Both of those are a realistic weekend. You leave Friday afternoon, you're back Sunday night. So trailer and RV traffic all over the Miami Valley picks way up every July and August, which means a lot of driveways around here are taking on a job they weren't built for. Now here's the thing most people get wrong about this. They assume it's about total weight, like the driveway has some number it can hold, and as long as you're under it, you're fine. That's not really how concrete works. Concrete is fantastic at handling weight that's spread out. Broad, even distributed load, it eats that all day. What it handles badly is concentrated load, point load, a lot of force squeezed into a tiny footprint. Think about your car for a second. It spreads its weight across 4 wide tires, and more importantly, it moves. It's off the slab every day. It's not sitting there working the same square foot of concrete for a month. A parked trailer is the opposite of that in every way. You've got a big chunk of its weight landing on 2 axles in a fixed position, and then you've got the tongue jack, or your stabilizer pads, pressing straight down through a contact patch about the size of a coffee mug. That jack foot right there, that's where most driveway damage actually begins. A few £1,000s coming down through 3 or 4 square inches of contact. Concrete doesn't care that the trailer's total weight is technically reasonable. All it feels is the pressure at that one point, and what happens is it punches or it spalls or it cracks. Let me give you some rough numbers, and I want to be clear these are ballpark for sanity checking only. Your actual weight is on the GVWR sticker, usually near the trailer door or on the driver's side frame. Go look at yours. A teardrop or a small utility trailer runs somewhere around 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. That's low risk. Your driveway's not going to notice. A pop-up camper, call it 2,000 to 3,000. Low to moderate, still generally fine. Now a travel trailer, that's 5,000 to 9,000 pounds loaded. That's where I'd start paying attention. A fifth wheel. You're talking 12,000 to 18,000. That's high risk on a standard 4-inch residential slab, full stop. And a Class A motorhome, 20,000 pounds and up, same deal, high. So where does a Dayton driveway actually give out first? There are 3 spots and they're pretty consistent. Number 1, the edges. This is the big one. A slab edge has nothing confining it on the outside, no support, no resistance, it's just open air past that point. So when a trailer tire rolls off the pavement or you park with one wheel hanging out past the edge, the concrete snaps off in a long strip. That is far and away the most common camper-related failure we see. And here's the useful part. It almost always announces itself first. You'll get a crack running parallel to the edge a few inches in before the piece ever actually breaks free. If you catch that crack, you've got a warning. Most people walk past it for 2 months. Number 2, the apron. That's the section between the sidewalk and the street. That panel absorbs every single turning load from a long trailer. Every time you back a 5th wheel in at an angle, you're grinding and twisting that concrete. Not once, repeatedly, every trip. If your apron already has that spiderweb pattern of cracking going on, more trailer traffic is going to finish the job. And a lot of times that panel needs targeted repair well before the rest of the driveway does. Number 3, and this is the sneaky one, the ground underneath. Southwest Ohio soil holds a lot of clay. And clay moves with moisture, that's just what it does. Dry stretch comes through, the clay shrinks, then we get one of those heavy Miami Valley storms and it swells right back up. So now you've got a slab bridging over a soft spot with nothing supporting it from below. Park a loaded camper on top of that and you get a cracked panel that starts to rock under your feet when you walk on it. Alright, so what do you actually do about it? Because I'm not here to tell you to sell the camper. Most of this is genuinely cheap. First, put a wide pad under every jack and every stabilizer, every one of them. A scrap of pressure-treated lumber works. A proper leveling block works better. Either way, you're taking that coffee mug footprint and spreading it across something much bigger, and that alone solves most of the problem. Second, don't park a loaded trailer within about a foot of any slab edge. Give yourself that buffer. Third, and this one takes about 5 minutes, Move the trailer a few feet every couple of weeks. Don't let it sit on the same patch of concrete all summer. Fourth, keep water off the subgrade. If you've got a downspout dumping right alongside the driveway, you are actively softening the exact soil that has to carry all that load. Get it moved out. And fifth, go look for new cracks after that first heavy trip. Fresh cracking that shows up under load isn't cosmetic, that's information. Now, does every crack mean you need a new driveway? No. Honestly, no. Hairline shrinkage cracking on an otherwise flat, solid slab is normal, it's expected, and usually you just seal it and get on with your life. The signals that point toward replacement are different, and they're pretty distinct. Panels that rock when you step on them, cracks where there's a vertical lip, one side sitting higher than the other, and crumbling that goes deeper than just the surface. Those three things tell you the slab or the base underneath it has actually failed. And once you're there, the honest answer is that patching it is throwing money away. What has to happen is the old slab comes out, the base gets rebuilt and properly compacted, and the new pour gets designed around the weight it's really going to carry. A lot of folks who tow regularly go a step further and put in a thicker reinforced parking pad off to one side. That keeps the heavy load off the main driveway entirely. More work than a patch, sure, but it lasts decades instead of a season. One last thing on timing. Late summer is genuinely a good window in Dayton. August and September give you warm days, cooler nights, and enough runway before the first freeze for a fresh pour to gain real strength. That beats fighting a wet March every time. And if you've got a settled walkway or a patio you've been putting off, that's the moment to knock it out too. Crew's already there, equipment's already there. We're Concrete Contractors, Dayton, Ohio, and we work all through Dayton, Kettering, Beavercreek, Huber Heights, Centerville, and the rest of the Miami Valley. If you're not sure whether what you're looking at is a seal-it-and-forget-it crack or something real, send us a few photos and we'll tell you straight. Or just call us at 937-939-2611 and we'll come out and have a look. Take care of that driveway. Enjoy the trip.